time is 2:42, which means it's 9 a.m. New York time. So I was explaining why I'm looking for higher prices on EU. And the reason is because of this imbalance. And on the daily, having that, I was talking about how this fair value gap was transitioned when it was filled. It remained this imbalance, right? By filling it partially here with this. And that's what we're kind of doing right now. So when I open the 4 hour time frame and I'm still maintaining that bullish perspective here, if we're continuing for higher prices here, then here should be like the utmost region to try and get to. I don't know if price is going to keep going lower, but I'm going to keep maintaining higher prices because that's how I stay safe in weekly bias. So on the daily time frame,
Okay.
yeah, on the daily time frame, I'm looking at these equal highs. I don't know if they are equal. Let me check them out. Let me check the high of this candle. The high of this candle is 1.3810, and the high of this candle is 1.3813. So this three is higher than this with like 2 points. But visually, looking at them, they are kind of like relatively equal lows. Do you get? We have
Yeah.
that there. So that's like a puzzle. You understand? Or is there any potentiality that exists where price can rally up, or where is like a level that looks visually pleasing? Because um anytime highs are like relatively equal like this, is more bound that price will want to seek those levels. So now I have that idea in mind, and I also have the fact that I am bullish on my weekly time frame, and the fact that we're trading off a weekly fair value, and the fact that we're taking out these equal lows, right? And the fact that we're also filling out the balance here. So when I open my 4 hour time frame, I am now sure of where price will be trying to seek for, like short term. Since I have this low here and I have this high here, and I'm seeing that sell side market structure shift here for higher prices. Let me label it blue. Market structure shift for higher prices here, and then fair value gap has been formed here. So if between now and 10 or 11 a.m. New York time, which is 4 p.m. our time, this gives a delivery into this fair value gap, I will be interested in looking for higher prices to here. Now, when I open my 3 hour time frame, I'm also trying to see, oh, is there a 3 hour fair value gap that exists? Oh, is also down here, right? Let's check the 2 hour time frame. Is there a 2 hour fair value gap that exists? Oh, it's also down here. So like everything is kind of screaming for, you know, this level for me to be able to join. So I'm not going to be interested in anything less than the 2 hour fair value gap for joining this move. So if it doesn't give me that, I do not have any trade. I have not found any trade. I did not lose money, and I'm still kind of a little bit safe. Do you get? But everything I'm doing right now is based off of the fact that I want to see higher prices, right? Cool. So that's that for EU. I'm going to go to AUDUSD. It filled the 2 hour imbalance there and was rallying. I was hoping to join this move, but the same 2 hour imbalance, that was where it used to rally, right? And if you check the 4 hour time frame, it was coming off of this key level. Can you see this 4 hour key level, right? We took buys yesterday. You remember the buys we took on AED from here to the fair value gap? You remember, right? Cool. Yeah, but the second framework leading to what still staying with the idea for buys is what I'm always trying to preach. Like instead of trying to look for sales in a bullish week, it's better to look for buys and get taken out. So you're just staying with that weekly idea. Your losses will reduce even though you don't get to like a weekly key level where you would more be interested in seeing higher prices from that level, because it would have been very sweet if price returned into this fair value gap and then started rallying. I would like it. But I'm going to look at the fact that, oh, price is taking out all this liquidity. Where is the next place? This level. So I'll treat this level as a level that is dragging price like the magnet, and not the fact that this will get revisited to this movement, the retracement. I have no control over that. But the fact that every week should be treated as bullish week, I have a control with that. Do you understand? Like this is how you take less losses, trying to say, oh, there's a fair value gap, shouldn't it come down here? Oh, this one down. Do you guys? So on the daily, this fair value gap, this couple of other blocks, that's what we're seeing to see this movement higher. And look at this high, right? Relative to our draw, we also have that high as well as our final.
Sorry. Um, sorry, you said something. I'm still trying to get it. You said
Analyze.
The week, how you frame the week should be treated as a bullish week.
Yes, like anytime you want to trade any pair, just ask yourself, where is the weekly candle likely to draw to, right? Where is it more likely to draw to?
Yeah.
If it opens here, this was the open for last week. I'm not saying, oh, is it going to go down to this fair value gap or or down to the low of this candle before it goes up. I'm not in control of how far it goes down. Do you understand? Because the narrative is what bullish. Like every single week has been bullish candles. So I'm going to treat it as any single thing as bullish. So when we open this week, I'm not trying to look for sales. I cannot control that. Like I need you to understand this thing, Onyechukwu. Like once price opens, yeah, and you're already asking yourself, where is this weekly candle likely to draw to more? Are you going to pick up or down? Me, Oluwafemi, I'll pick higher. Why? Because I'm aware of the fact that this can be drawing price higher, right? Do you understand now?
Yes.
Exactly. I'm not going to say, oh, can it return to this fair value gap here? Do you understand this fair value gap here? I'm not going to say, oh, can it return there? I don't know. I have no control whether market will actually reverse down, but I have control of where it's trying to get to, right? Because this one is already imprinted on the left side of the call. So where is it trying to get to short term right now? Even though I'm aware that this exists. So if they like, let them bring it down for all I care. So far, I'm in this week. I'm trying to buy to where? To here. Do you understand now?
Yes.
Exactly. So when I get to my daily time frame, sorry. So when I get to my daily time frame, I'm going to be looking for the same what daily key levels, daily discount. Can you see fair value gap? This is that weekly fair value gap down that price has not gotten to, isn't it? Let's mark it out. This is the weekly fair value gap, right?
Yes.
So if this is a weekly fair value gap, what I'm trying to teach is I have no control whether price is going to come down here before it goes up here, but I have a control to pick the side I'm willing to operate within if we do continue higher. GK. So when I open my daily time frame, I can clearly see that, oh, these are weekly fair value gap. But you see, price has not even tried to take any daily swing low, right? So it's still respecting this fair value gap here, as well as the other blocks, right? These are old places of initial buying. Do you understand? So I now
Yeah.
try and look, okay, on the upside, my target is there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm asking myself on the upside, where would be like a target? Can you see this daily high here is in close proximity with my weekly target, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's the weekly target here, this weekly swing high. So when I open my daily, I'm trying to see, oh, this daily high that's formed here is in close proximity with it. Let me look by the left. Let me see what we have. We now have a daily swing high, even before our weekly key level, even before this volume imbalance you're seeing here. So the potentiality exists that we could see higher prices on price. It exists because we're trading at a discount daily fair value gap, daily order blocks. And when we open our 4 hour time frame, this is the kind of framework we're seeing. 4 hour fair value gap, right? 4 hour market structure shift above a short term high. So even before I get here, this level will be short term target, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you see, I'm only going to be concentrating on buy moves into this level. If it takes out this level and drops down, forms a fair value gap, as long as we're between now and 11 a.m. New York time, I'm going to be buying to where? Here. Can you see now? Here. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Exactly.
Yeah.
So after here, I'm going to be interested in here and then finally there before our final weekly draw. So there's every premium array where you can find, your exit out of, but trying to sell in a bullish week, you're looking for trouble. You're looking for serious trouble. The reason why I was buying yesterday was because what? We came down. Hi Mufe, are you here? The reason I was buying yesterday was because we came down. Oh, all right, hi. We came down, we took out these two relatively equal lows, and then what? There was a premium fair value gap here, which would also be like my key level if we start to rally higher. If it's not a swing high, it's an imbalance. Do you get? It's nothing more than if it is not a swing high or a swing low, it is an imbalance. Make it as simple as that. So when you get to your 3 hour time frame, you're saying, okay, it did this. Now in London session, the 2 hour time frame, it moved up from this where fair value gap and what order block. So you could have joined this move if you were indeed bullish, but if you were trading off your 2 hour time frame, you could have joined it. So yeah, that's that about that for AUDUSD. Back to euro, like I said, I want to see price calm down below here before I'm interested in buying. If it doesn't do any of that, I would not be participating, not might, I will not be participating. There's a fair value gap here on the 2 hour time frame. You open your 1 hour too, it's right there. So fair value gap here. Any movements down that takes out the low from, sorry, let me increase my text. So any movement that takes out the low from London session thereabout and dips into like this imbalance, I'm going to be interested in buying to at least where, to at least the high of New York, this imbalance, and eventually here, then eventually where, high, high, high. Let's check the one for AUD Same thing, high, fair value gap, high, equal highs, high, 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 equal highs, then eventually our weekly target. So now let's look at BTC. BTC, we've reached this daily fair value gap. This was the high we were calling yesterday in our live call. This high and how it was relatively equal with this, right? So that high is at 100K 120. And then we had this daily fair value gap being respected. So we had a weekly fair value gap down, but same price action that AED did. It did not, it refused to what, drop into the weekly. It just started doing this thing, right? So I want you to pay attention to this fair value gap from 31st of January 2025, the imbalance that exists on that candle. I marked it out to present and I'm marking out this high. And I'm also saying, oh, there are a lot of what equal highs at this level. Like I even mark it out still. Can even mark it out still. So I drew it out, right? This daily fair value gap, dragging it out here. I'm still what leaning toward my weekly bias, which is what for higher prices, irrespective of the fact that this might feel overbought to you. I'm not trying to sell, okay? I'm not, but I'm aware of the liquidity or fair value gap that exists on the way to the side. And this is my final exit for BTC, which is 109,951. So on the daily, that imbalance is supposed to act as what? Sorry, on the daily, that imbalance is supposed to act as what? A level that is present, right? It can act as support for what higher prices. Instead of me trying to use this fair value gap to turn price and to look for sales, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay on the path of what looking for higher prices until this higher level, this equal highs, this higher at least. So when I open my 4 hour time frame, I'm sure of what I'm trying to look at. Let's first look at this level. That fair value gap is there, right? So, but this 4 hour high is also here. So I'll just mark it out. That's right. So I'm aware. Everything I'm preaching here is awareness, right? Mark it out to present. This is the daily inversion. This is the 4 hour. We've had a movement above this high. We returned into this order block. Let's open the 3 hour. Let's see if we'll find any 3 hour fair value gap whatsoever. Nothing. This was only the level that price used this morning to get to the high of this. So nothing, but anything that was going to be interesting to me today between now and 11 in an hour time is if price revisits this imbalance, or on the 2 hour time frame, that imbalance level, if it takes out the low from London and the low from Asia. Okay, that's just what is going to make it very interesting for me to buy. Where will be my targets if I pick up a buy order at this level? Here, right? Here, the equal highs, relatively equal highs there, and then eventually that's high. So, but here will be my short-term targets, which is 104, 330. Okay, so 315. Nothing for me to do here, basically. Nothing. So, yes, after this, let's go to gold. Let's go to gold. So, gold, weekly time frame, weekly fair value, weekly fair value here too. So, price dips into it, and we're seeing higher prices, right? Daily. And we know that our target is still like there based on the weekly time frame. Like if you're going to move from a weekly key level, where is your weekly target? That high, right? At least get to that high. If it doesn't, that means it's going to the low of last week and eventually here, where me, I'll still start looking for what higher prices. If it has not gotten to here, then it should get to the high of this week at least and eventually here. So opening my daily time frame, I'm saying, oh, we're taking out the sell side. We've pushed above this high. We're at the bottom of this fair value gap. Is there any potentiality that exists, yeah, where price can what rally at least to the high of yesterday and eventually this high? Then here, I don't know. But the information on the 4 hour time frame is going to be able to help me to day trade this price action. So when I get to my 4 hour time frame, this is what I'm looking at. Oh, there's a 4 hour imbalance, 4 hour liquidity rate inside of that level, which is also a daily fair value. 4 hour what accumulation, right? So I want to buy this, but I need the markets to provide me a retracement, right? I cannot buy unless they give me a discount level where I can be comfortable buying up that order and picking up and taking off that order above a premium. Premium level will be where above this high. If we get below this line, above this line will be premium level, and eventually here above this line, and then we're here, then our final target. So now that I know this, we're day trading gold, right? So let's look at the 3 hour time frame. The 3 hour time frame, I'm seeing an order block here, and I'm also seeing that we've shifted above a 3 hour high too. So everything is just screaming buys. On the 2 hour time frame, I'm seeing there's a 2 hour fair value as well as what the order block here, right? On the 1 hour time frame, I'm seeing what there's a 1 hour what London session lows, Asia session lows, London session lows, and what all of this. So that movement down into here, taking out those lows, will help me to be able to gauge the price action to read here on the 5 minutes, 1 minute, and what eventually find what higher prices to where at least the high of this and eventually here. Okay, so those people that sold gold from yesterday, they will have their stop losses here, right? So let's just label that as what buy stops. So top left. So they're the people my eyes are on. So if we get this movement down, I would be willing to buy gold. I'll be on my 15 minutes and 5 minutes and 1 minute time frame looking for if price what pushes, shows me that movement, then my favorite movement, which is this. I'm trying to draw it, come down into here, right? Take out, sorry, let me put on this first. So we're in New York, right? Come down, take out the lows from London, all the lows, right? The low from London, that's sessions low. Revisit that. We have an imbalance here. We also have like this other block here. So this movement down into here, right? I'm going to be interested in playing something like that. If it does that, maybe it comes down again, whatever, and then what rallies up or does like this, rallies up, right? Then I'll not be, oh, if it rallies up, breaks above maybe this short-term high here or this one and forms what a fair value gap, I would buy and use, I would buy and use here as my stop loss and then what target at least the high of New York. All this imbalance here and the high from yesterday, those guys have been making money. So this is the kind of thing I'm expecting on gold, right? If I don't see this playbook, I'm not playing this game today. And if it doesn't fit my criteria, it doesn't fit it. So this is what I'm going to do. Basically, watch this until I see a framework like this. After which, I would be interested in picking up this buy order. I hope that's clear enough. Any questions? Mufia, this is your pair. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
No questions from my end. I mean, it all makes sense basically.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Onye, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. I don't
Okay.
have a question.
Cool. Cool. That means it's very clear, right?
Yes,
All
it
right.
is.
All right. So that brings us to the end. Basically, this is what I'm going to be watching between now and 11. Well, today is Friday. I can extend that to like 5, right? 5, which is 12 a.m. New York time. I can just extend that to like 5 just because today is Friday. No reason in particular, but I can extend that to like 5. So If I can find setups between now and the hours of 5 that fit this model, I will trade it. I will trade it. I'll get the high from New York. I'll get the high from yesterday's New York session too. So yeah. Notice there is like the setups that move in line with the daily order flow and weekly order flow. Like they demand some form of session low being taken out. I don't know why. It's just weird. They just like that shit. Demand some form of London. Look at London session low, right? Purged, and then we
Yeah.
start to see that movement away from this fair value gap. So
Yeah.
if I had seen this entry criteria at what this session, I'll take it. But
And what the session is even the funny thing. Like you will anticipate something, it's gonna happen.
yes,
I
yes,
mean, like,
just like
what's wrong with this here, like,
it's just like
yeah.
that. It's just like that. You just have to find a model. Now, your model is your approach that you are going to stick to that will guide you and give you consistent results, whether it's a win or a losing trade. Okay, there is a model and approach that only you will be able to develop as per, oh, even though this thing fits your entry criteria, you're going to be entering at a time where you're not even trading because this is like 7 o'clock and this is 1 hour before, like this is like actual New York open. This candle here, 7 a.m. So this is giving you entry at 7:30. But me now, yeah, I'm not going to stand up from my bed until or start looking at the charts until it's like 8. But does it mean I could not have entered this? I could have. But I didn't. I didn't. So this movement here, down into the 2 hour imbalance, taking out all these lows, we found a way to rally to the highs of this. I like it. I like it, but I would have loved that we actually just push up immediately. But I'm not priced, so I'm not priced. That's the part I would not be able to explain, right? That's the part.
You're
So
not priced.
yes, I'm not
Chat
priced.
me FX.
Oh my god. Anyways, Mufe, funny dude. Anyways, see gold right now. This lower pricing. For lucky, we get the movement down here between now and 11. And as long as it does that, I'm going to be interested in buying it. So this is going to get people thinking that it's not going to go higher. But all these who have been buying here, buying all this, trying to buy, oh, gold is going up, right? This movement will get them scared because they're inside this trade and they probably have their stop losses here, hoping that the 15 minutes fair value gap will hold, and then it does hold. But it rallies to how far the premium here. So I'm interested now. In New York, one of the New York playbook is you want to see like complete reversal. Like this will just get you thinking, oh, the shit is not going up again. But then once I see this on another time frame, this reversal you're saying here is a retracement, right? So I'm trying to join the retracement, which eventually becomes what manipulation, and then we can start to accumulate again to a buy side. So that's how I'm internalizing it right now. Same play, same thing we did yesterday, same thing we've been doing since. So yeah. So any movement down for AUDUSD, like I said, I'm staying here till I'll most likely not trade this pair today. Most likely. Most likely. And this is Aussie. It's like an Asian pair. But Euro is just rallying up. We know where it's trying to get to, but I cannot just join, right? I can't join for joining sake. I have to be able to find a model, right? If I've told you where it's trying to get to and you find a model that is going to get you here, a good entry and a good stop loss, you can enter. But I'm not going to enter if it's not too good enough for me in a way that I want to, where I'm willing to risk money on. So the same way that I interpret it is how you've been able to pick my brain a little bit. You should be able to adjust it in a way that fits you and how you want to engage the market. But as per engagement, I already told you why I'm doing what I'm doing on EU. And if I do not find that, then there's nothing for me to do, sincerely. And I'll be fine with that. There's nothing for me to do. And if there's nothing for me to do, one thing you now discover is that next week it comes down, takes out this low, and then what starts the rally again. Right. So if my model helps me sit out today, what it means is it's protecting and keeping my capital for tomorrow when things are nice. So this was the only trade I was able to get on Euro this week, and that was on Monday. Here, this movement away from this imbalance, this fair value gap, right? We dipped into this. This movement was in London, and then I bought it to this high, to the high here about, and eventually like the main threshold of this fair value gap of this longest week, right? Let's mark it out. Longest week, right? Let's go to the 15 minutes time frame. So this was it on Monday, taking out Asia's low, right? This is Asia, taking out the low in where? London. So can you see that same repeating phenomenon? Taking out the low from Asia, pushing up in London, and what's actually buying. Not like so. Yes, I have to end the call now. Thank you all for showing up, and this recording will be made available some way. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.